it's approaching the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead, it's for the taking if you want it. If not, the dream dies and you'll be forever haunted. Then confront it.
Ask and you shall receive. What's good? So, we've got the EZA for the Strength Perfect Cell, and of course a lot of people have already requested the Kaioken mechanic test or stacking effect ability with this guy, since he does raise attack and defense. Even pre-EZA he already had that function, but now that he does officially have the Extreme Z Awakening, let's go ahead and test out how things are. And for those new, the format is pretty straightforward. The first couple of super attacks that you'll see on the rotation are pretty much what you would expect from a typical battle. So like this is early on, like first or second rotation. We'll go to like third, fourth, fifth, and so on. And then after that, things get rather interesting because you're gonna end up seeing this unit perform in pretty unrealistic, incomprehensible scenarios. Basically, the ability to attack, raise attack and defense is going to really take effect after a certain amount of turns, and you really are going to see that. So in terms of consistency purposes, it really is going to be mostly a rotation with Kid Buu and the EZA Metacooler unit. Just because they do provide a lot of links, as well as some link skills that they do share with the Strength Perfect Cell unit. So just to have a level of consistency, that's pretty much the rotational format you'll see. Now, of course, with the earlier rotations where you're starting to build up the attack and defense through the stacking effect, I did include a couple of variations just because, you know, we didn't want to jump from one to another, you know, rather quickly. So you will see situations where you have Angel Golden Frieza on the rotation as well. But as you can see, 382,000 attack stats and 174,000 defense. So, you know, definitely getting there in terms of getting that attack and defense up there. And by the time you get through the last portion of the video, yeah, you'll understand how much of an impact this makes. Now, do keep in mind that it's unlimited within a 99 turn limit, basically. So you do have to make sure that the Kaioken mechanic or ability to raise attack and defense takes place as quickly as possible, essentially within 99 turns, because what happens after the 99 turns is up is that ability to stack the attack and defense no longer takes effect. I don't know why they put in a turn limit of 99 turns. I guess, you know, the developers were pretty much thinking that no battle should go on longer than 99 turns, so I guess they would just assume that, you know, that's enough to essentially cap the limit at. So for those that are looking to replicate this, that's one of the things you do want to be aware of. Of course, depending on how you go about the potential system, things will very quickly affect how much you actually stack, because again, if you go a higher focus on additional attack, of course you do have a higher chance to basically get additional supers and further stack the attack and defense. So that's pretty much the main component or driver, I guess, in terms of how much you can actually get the attack and defense stats up there for the Perfect Cell or any unit that's being tested for that matter. So in case you guys have noticed, there is a certain unit that is out of place if you look at either the wheel or the list of units when you're looking at Perfect Cell's attack and defensive stats. That unit is the Mercenary Tau unit. The reason why, and I get this question a lot, so I try to address this whenever I can, that way you guys can replicate this anytime you want. You do want to bring a weak strength type unit to activate the Dokkan mode attack, because as you can see, Rose is an agility type, so the weakest unit that's a strength type you can bring to activate the Dokkan mode super attack is going to really minimize the damage that Rose takes. And that way you're able to extend the battle as much as possible. Basically, that's the whole format, and that's how you want to go about it. So for those that continue to ask, or you're new and you're wondering, that's pretty much how to go about that. So hopefully this kind of cleared things up a little bit. So as you can see, 1.6 million roughly in attack stats, 768,000 I believe in defensive stats. So it's quite high already. So there's definitely more to come with this guy. So this is, this is only a little bit midway into it, and in terms of consistency, so I've told you guys that Kid Buu and Metacooler are predominantly the ones going to be on every rotation that is clipped up in this video, just to keep the rotational setup the same. The various other different variables involved, I guess, is one, if Big Bad Boss is activated or not. Right now, you can see that it's not, because HP is at full status versus less than 80%. The other thing to note is the secondary passive skill for Perfect Cell, where you do have to collect 6 or more ki. That is actually collecting 6 or more orbs in order to activate that additional 30% to attack and defense. So that does definitely impact the final numbers per rotation. So that's pretty much the only two really major differentiating things from each rotation. That's probably it. Excuse me. It's first thing in the morning, so yeah, it's I tend to cough after having the first cigarette of the morning. So I'm actually doing this right before work with providing the commentary and whatnot. So. Alright, so back to the whole point. I don't think I really covered the unit itself, so let's go ahead and talk about the unit's upgrades right now. The good thing about this guy is leader skill is all across the board with a ki boost, so plus 3 ki HP attack and defense, increase of 120%, so you can certainly run him as a mono type lead for strength types. The 10 ki and 12 ki super are going to cause immense damage to enemy and raise attack and defense. The 11 ki is the one that's an AoE attack. It causes supreme damage to all enemies and also raises attack and defense, as well as 10% HP recovery. So pretty good built-in systems. The 10 ki, obviously we're not doing that here because we don't want Rose getting any damage taken. But both types of super attacks do have the ability to raise attack and defense, which is a good thing. Now, the passive skill is where things get a little bit interesting. Now, in the past, it was a flat increase to attack, but with the EZA, it is attack increase of 100% and defense increase of 50% at the start of turn. Again, you get a plus an additional attack and defense increase of 30% when you collect 6 more ki spheres, and then all enemies attack and defense minus 20% when you're facing 2 or more enemies. So that's definitely a pretty worthwhile set of links and passives, and you could definitely see the beneficial value in situations where you're facing multiple enemies. So that's definitely a good thing, and makes things rather interesting. It is an AoE attack, so it might be worthwhile seeing what the world tournament setting applies. It is supreme damage, but at the end of the day, it could certainly be an option. Now, I haven't tested the world tournament setting with this unit even prior to that, because I think honestly in the past before the EZA it was not even an option because it was mass damage. But for certain players I think it certainly was. If you didn't have like LR Broly or even the Super Saiyan Broly and Fat Buu and whoever, but I don't really know enough about the world tournament setting with this Strength Perfect Cell to be able to give you a concrete analysis on it. So, alright, so we are at 3.2 million attack stats and 1.5 million roughly in defensive stats, so you can see the numbers definitely do climb up quite a bit. And we're getting definitely closer to the 99 turn limit. As you can see, Big Bad Boss is also activated. Kid Buu is providing that 30% on top of having like Fierce Battle, Link skill. Metacooler provides a pretty good boost overall to 40% toward both attack and defense, as well as a ki boost. So you are getting the the maximum boost. You also do have, I think Metacooler also does have the Nightmare Link skill that he shares with Cell as well. So that is an additional 10% to attack. Yeah, so pretty much at this point, I think the 99 turn limit has activated. You see some pretty similar numbers there, but still impressive. I mean, 3.2 million attack stats. Defensive stats are pretty ridiculous. Even a super attack received at this point, you're looking at maybe double digits, and damage barely puts a dent. But yeah, it's crazy how the ability to raise attack and defense continuously over the time of repeating super attacks, you know, within at least a 99 turn limit makes things pretty unrealistically beautiful to see. You know what I mean? That's the interesting part about it. And then I think it's a flat, roughly 5 million attack stats prior to the super attack actually activating, and then, you know, that number will obviously climb, 7.8 million total wise, and then the craziest part is the normal attack will do even crazier damage, like right there, 9.8 million just from a normal attack. So yeah, the stacking ability or Kaioken mechanic definitely does make quite a bit of difference. It's always fun to run these. It's you know, certainly interesting. I think you guys enjoyed enough to where it's to the point where you guys actually request it. So hopefully you guys certainly enjoyed this version of it with the Strength Perfect Cell after the Extreme Z Awakening. This again is a continuous ability to stack attack and defense just to see how high the numbers would actually get. So we'll go ahead and close out here, but I definitely do appreciate you guys watching the videos, continuously, you know, staying with me on the channel. Hopefully we got some more good content coming up this week, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later. All right, peace out.